afternoon and welcome to The Dinner Stories, episode 3. Now this week we're into July and of course we couldn't let the 4th of July go without having a little celebratory meal and of course the opportunity to wear my cheerleader outfit. Although it is a little short. I don't have any pom-poms and I don't know any cheerleading songs, but I know how to cook a burger. I'm going to be cooking a burger. I've got some bacon, some streaky bacon. I've got some onions to cook down and soft to go on the burger. I've got some Cornish crunchy, extra mature cheese. I've got some sweet potato chips going in the air fryer. I've got a beetroot apple coleslaw, which is absolutely gorgeous. Then we've got to dress the burger. Of course, we've got to have ketchup and a bit of mustard. It is going in quite a big bap. First job, oil on the sweet potato. Just a little tad. I have found it works relatively well. Just a little drizzle. And of course, a little salt and pepper. And then we're going to pop this in the air fryer. Give it a little shake. A little oil for the burger. I'm going to also cook down the onions until they're really soft and just that little bit golden. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I met a delightful gent on a train, long journey from Aberdeen to London. He was a spring chicken, well, an octogenarian, 81. And he was reminiscing about his younger courting days and of being of a navy gent, no doubt the proverbial girl in every port figured somewhere. We talked about everything, including my love for all things retro. He then asked, because I'd mentioned stockings, did I know what the top of a stocking was called? You know, where the edge, where the suspender clips onto it. I said, no, I didn't. He said, it's called the giggle line. I smiled and we continued talking. He said, younger days, courting, he said, when you were having a little smooch or getting a little cosy, say, on the sofa, your hand may slide onto the thigh, lower thigh, almost knee of the lady you were with. You could possibly feel her nylons underneath. If you got to the top of her thigh without being slapped, you were lucky. Edge a little further, slide your hand to the top, you then knew you were laughing. I asked him how many times he got there. He said only once. Oh, what happened, I said, with the lady? He said, I married her. We had the most fantastic conversation all the way, as I say, from Aberdeen to London. And I have never forgot the lovely conversation I had with the gentleman. Let's get back to cooking. Well, we have beautifully caramelised onions. We've got the burger sizzling away, as you can hear it. The bacon's in the side. I'm not long after putting the cheese on, and then we're almost there. I'm going to go and get changed. So, a little mustard on the bread. And then I would put a little splodge of ketchup. I do have a little affinity of what it's like to be in the States on July 4th. Here's 2 things you may or may not know about me. When I was 13, I went on school exchange for 3 terms. So I went and stayed for a whole year in Massachusetts, Boston, in a lovely place called Springfield, and I went to David Prouty High School. Number 1 thing you may or may not didn't know. And the second fact about the States is I worked for a very long time for an American company, a big hotel chain, and I was based in Texas. It was all very exciting to be going somewhere that we'd only ever seen on TV in Dallas. But I went to Houston, which was a complete eye-opener. And I worked for an American firm, as I say, for a whole year, survived mainly on coffee and Jack Daniels and very little sleep. So those are my experiences of being around for the 4th of July, Independence Day. Then we take our lovely burger from a local butcher's. Do make the effort to go, because if we don't, there will be none on the high street. A few little onions. Ooh, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm starving. Been to the gym again. On the Peloton. I'm doing well. Coleslaw. Bright pink. Look at this. It's beetroot and apple. A pile, is that the word, of sweet potato, super salted. And there we have one July 4th Independence Day dinner. I'm now going to go and watch the reunion of Race Across the World. I'm going to have this on my knee. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again on episode 4. Happy Independence Day.